Hi, the topic today is learning readiness. So, as the beginning of the school year draws near, thousands of little feet are going to be crossing the threshold of those grade 1 classrooms. But the success that these children have at school may be rooted in their state of learning readiness. Now, many of you have heard of school readiness, and many children have been tested for school readiness, but the two are not the same. School readiness is a term meant to, it means that children are socially, emotionally, and intellectually ready to cope with the demands of school. But in spite of this, they start to fall behind. And this might be because they have not achieved what we call learning readiness. Now, learning readiness is rooted in the brain's development of its structure and function. And this depends on the network of nerve cells that are formed from the moment of conception and the trillions of connections that have to be in place so that we have a central nervous system, being the brain and the spinal column, that is absolutely right for learning. And learning readiness isn't often tested for. So if a child starts to flounder at school and to fall behind, it may be a case that even though they are school ready, even though they get along really well with their peers, even though they are able to act age appropriately and manage their emotions well and seem bright and capable of learning to read and write, the problem may be that they are not learning ready. So, learning readiness depends on the network of nerve cells and their connections. The formation of this is what we refer to as neurodevelopment. All right? And that means that if a child hasn't developed that network, it means that he can be neurologically immature. Now think about it. A child who has an immature brain cannot possibly be learning ready. Now, more importantly then, what are the signs that you can look for to try and estimate whether or not a particular child is in danger of falling through those slats because of this lack of learning readiness? The signs are many, but some of the flags we look for include poor static balance, which means that even though a child might be fine when he's riding his bicycle or running along the top of a wall, but when he has to stand still or sit still for long, that's when it becomes a little bit more difficult for him to maintain that balance. We're looking at difficulties with crossing the midline. We're looking at poor control of a writing pencil or using a pair of scissors. There could be midline problems. He's not crossing the midline properly. There could be, of course, problems with concentration. Short-term memory problems, and also when children say, huh, in response to most of your questions, they fidget a lot, they could have low muscle tone. So doesn't it make sense that knowing this and knowing the significance of learning readiness for school success, doesn't it make sense that testing for learning readiness should be done alongside school readiness? And I believe that every preschool and primary school should include a neurodevelopmental aspect to their assessment when they are doing school readiness tests. Now, the good news is that this is very quick and easy to do. In fact, anybody can learn to test for learning readiness. And even better, equally easy is to select activities and to engage children in doing them to make sure that their brains have a chance to catch up and that they achieve that learning readiness that we're looking for. On the website ilt.co.za, there's a package called Wired to Learn. And this package consists of a DVD and a booklet which will show you how to test children for learning readiness, what to do about it if you find they're not. So no matter where in the world, you can order this package and teach yourself. I think as adults, we need to prevent those those moments of sadness in a child, and that sort of gradual declining of enthusiasm for learning in school. It isn't difficult to do if we just take the trouble to empower ourselves so that we can help. And we can. We can change that "I can't" into "I can."